Here's the thing. Most business owners, aka busyness owners, keep circling the same problem year after year. Like, how do I get more clients? But if you want to skip into CEO level growth, you can't stay stuck solving yesterday's struggles. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about the difference between busyness owners and true CEOs, why staying at entry level problems keeps you broke and burned out, and how to start building the schedules, systems, and strategies that move you into next level problems. Girl, we're talking the kind that come when clients are flowing in and impact is multiplying. So, if you're ready to stop wasting time on the same old struggles and finally grow into the next season of stewardship that God is calling you into, then this episode will show you the steps to get there. So, let's dive in. Just a few weeks ago, during one of the CEO Time Warp sessions, someone shared an aha was when I asked the question, what would happen if you woke up tomorrow to 100 new clients or customers? You see, most business owners who are struggling to get new clients in the first place, to them, that would be a good problem to have. Don't you agree? The problem is, most business owners are going to stay stuck at the how do I get more clients level problems, like we talked about last week in episode 350. While only some will move on to those next level problems. And here's the thing, unless you go viral, it's probably not going to happen overnight. But the good news is you can grow to those next level problems if you start thinking and building strategically like a CEO now. So I want to speak to you right now because if you're the kind of business owner who's not looking to build an expensive hobby, you know, one that just costs you time and money, but you're looking to build a business that produces real results and is making lasting impact, then now is the time to focus on what will really move the needle in your business. Because, girl, we've got just over 3 months left in this year. And that kind of business owner ain't got time to keep trying to fix the same problems year after year. So, if that's you, I want to invite you right now, before we go any deeper in this episode, to come and check out what we're doing inside CEO Focus, the 12-week coaching and accountability program that's going to help you start growing to next level problems. Why? Because you're consistently and intentionally focusing time on getting beyond the this level problems. How do I get more leads? How do I sign more clients? And how do I create more results? So, if that's you, go check it out and grab your spot at redeemhertime.com/focus info, or just click the link in the show notes. You see, it was that question that got that business owner thinking about what she needed to put in place now to not only grow to that next level problem, but to sustain it and scale it. Because no matter what level of business you're at, whether you're just starting, you're reaching for your first six figures, or you're scaling to multiple six figures and beyond, we all need the same foundation to build on. It's the three-legged stool that we've been talking about. Strategies to know where you're going to next, systems to know what to do or what your team is to do to get there, and schedules to know when to do it with consistency and focus. And when you build those schedules, systems, and strategies that are scalable, you will have what you need in place to handle those next level problems. So here's the truth. At this point in 2025, there is a tale of two business owners. Do you remember how the tale of two cities starts out? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, right? In the same way, there are business owners right now who are still struggling to bring in new clients and customers each month. And there are those who are right now bringing in hundreds, if not more. What is the difference? Well, it's the difference between being a business owner versus a CEO, a Christ empowered operator. One is reactive, while the other is strategic. One is scattered, while the other is focused. And one produces a lot of busyness, while the other produces a lot of fruitfulness. You see, busyness owners have been working in their business all year long, but they're still asking the same question. How do I get more clients? While CEOs have moved on to, how do I show up to fully serve all the clients I have coming in? So let me ask, which question are you asking at this point in the year? And let me ask this, how many years have you been asking that same question? Girl, no matter what level of business you're at, you are going to have problems you need to solve. So let me ask, which problem would you rather invest in solving? How to get clients to pull out their credit card? Or how to onboard and serve the hundreds of customers you have coming in? It's a difference between how to create income versus how to scale impact, how to convince people to buy versus how to lead people forward with vision. And here's the truth. The 99%, aka the busyness owners, are just going to push harder, work more hours, keep doing all day long, but they're burning themselves out with not much roadie to show for it. And they're going to keep throwing time and money at the same problems in the new year. But the 1%, the CEOs, are going to slow down to scale up. And they are going to invest time and money strategically to get the right schedules, systems, and strategies in place so they can start solving next level problems in 2026. As I was thinking about what I wanted to share today, I was reminded of what the master said to the two servants who understood their role was to expand what had been entrusted to them in the parable of the talents. In Matthew 25:21, it says, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things." You see, faithfulness at one level leads to the next level of responsibility in stewardship. Is that what you want as a business owner? I hope so. Because what was the master's response to the servant who just kept his one talent contained? "You wicked and lazy servant, even what you have will be taken away." And here's the thing. Business growth doesn't just happen to you. It happens through you when you start to understand that stewardship is not just about protecting the master's resources, but expanding them to build his kingdom. And that means you are starting to look at how to solve next level problems. So, if that is you, I want to encourage you to start this process now. Don't wait till January 1st like everyone else, because otherwise, you'll likely go into the new year circling the same problems, and you're more likely to stay there. Now, I just want to say, there's no shame if right now, as you're listening, you are still at the how do I get more clients level of problems. A lot of business owners are. The question is, what are you doing to grow beyond that in the last 3.5 months of 2025? Well, I have a few ideas. So let me give you 4 steps that you can take right now to step into next level problems in the new year. Are you ready to take notes? Step number 1, identify your solution. What is the problem that you're currently looking to solve? Let's stick with the example of getting more clients. The truth is, 80% of your results are going to come from 20% of your work. That's the Pareto principle at work. So here is the case where less is indeed more. So take time to list out all the things you've been doing or you could do to solve that. For example, you might write down leveraging referrals and testimonials, creating consistent visibility, building strategic partnerships, nurturing with email marketing, speaking and teaching with events, strengthening your client journey, offering a compelling lead magnet, investing time in follow-up, just to name a few. The good news is they all work, or they all can work if you do it consistently over time. But here's the thing. If you try to do all the things, you won't get anywhere. So here's what I'm challenging you to do. Choose one thing to focus on for the next 12 weeks that's going to solve the problem that you were trying to solve. And here's the thing. By saying yes to this one thing, I want you to commit to not getting distracted by the 80%. All the things that you think you should be doing that aren't producing results anyway, or what you see other people doing. Because all that's going to do is dilute your focus and slow your growth. So the key is choose one thing that you will consistently focus on for the next 12 weeks until the end of the year. One thing that is going to help solve this problem, and you will be well on your way to solving next level problems. Step number 2 is to map out your strategy. No matter which of those ideas you choose, or something else that I didn't list, there are likely a lot of moving parts to get them working for you. So the next step is to create a roadie growth map. What result, aka roadie, return on time invested, do you want to see by the end of the year? Say, for example, you want to bring in 2 new clients or customers per week. Great. Now map out the milestones that you need to hit with your strategy in place to get from where you are right now to where you want to be by the end of the year. And then go back and break down each of those milestones into smaller targets with timelines and action steps that make it doable if you just follow the map one step at a time. Now, here's where most busyness owners keep circling the same mountain, aka the same problems, because year after year they set a goal, but they don't have a clear roadmap to get there. So, Already, you're ahead of most business owners or busyness owners, right? Or even where you have been stuck. Why? Because you took the time to identify your solution and to map out your growth strategy. So now it's time to move on to step three, build your system. After 11 years of building my own business and helping hundreds of business owners build theirs, here's what I know to be true. Growth doesn't just happen because you have a goal or even a roadmap. It happens when you know exactly what you need to do each and every day when you sit down to work, which is why you need to create a scalable SOP for you and your team that lives on your CEO dashboard. So that way it's all in one place. So look at that strategy you chose. What are the steps that you need to take and in what order? And how frequently do they need to be done? For example, if you're investing time in following up, which I highly recommend, or you're wasting time and money on lead gen, what are the reach outs that you're going to make to go from what I call hello to let's go? How often will you reach out? And who will actually do those reach outs? Is it you or your team? And how are you going to keep track of each lead so you can know who they are, what they need, and when you last connected with them? I find so many business owners don't have a repeatable system with scalable SOPs for task flows like follow ups. It's more a matter of where was that person's contact info? Or what did they tell me last time? Or when did I last reach out? Or what do I say next? No wonder you don't have clients coming in consistently. But when you have a system in place on your CEO dashboard, then, girl, you are ready for step number four. Create your schedule. Just like knowing where you're going won't get you there, knowing what to do won't make it happen until you decide when you will do it. And here's where the ideal week plan comes in. If you want to bring in clients consistently, using whichever strategy you mapped out and build a system around, chances are when you think of it or when you think you have time for it, are not going to get you to that next level of growth. Am I right? It's going to take consistent, focused time over time to produce results. And girl, you're going to be amazed at how, when you get consistent, the growth happens so much faster because the compound effect is working in your favor. Because as you create results, then you build momentum. So when it comes to the strategy you mapped out and the system you built, specifically, when will you execute your plan? Will it be daily for 45 minutes? Or twice a week for 90 minutes? Or once a week for 3 hours? It doesn't matter. You get to decide what fits best into your week and what you can be consistent with for the next 12 weeks. And then when you add it to your ideal week plan, each week you sit down to do that weekly planning, you don't have to try to remember or fit it in because it already has a time specially set aside. Now, I know that these four steps are what you've been missing or what may have been a little unclear or inconsistent if you've been circling that same problem for a while now. Because you need a focused strategy, a focused system, and a focused schedule. But there's something else that will uplevel your results, and it's what I call the time stewardship multiplier. Here is where we need to keep building your belief as a CEO, a Christ-empowered operator who is partnering with him as a steward to not just grow your business, but to expand his kingdom. Girl, this is how both you and I will hear, well done, good and faithful servant, and be entrusted with more when we look to him as our provider and our multiplier. But business owners are just going to keep doing the same things, trying to solve the same problems and get the same results year after year. But you and me, CEOs, we focus on what it takes to get results now and move to next level problems. So really, it's up to you. At this point in the year, you can keep circling the same mountain, aka solving the same problems or trying to, for the rest of 2025 and into the new year. Or you can start leveraging the right schedules, systems, and strategies to move you to next level results and next level problems. And girl, that is a good problem to have, don't you think? That's why I'm inviting you to not just do these steps on your own, but to join us inside CEO Focus and get in the room with other like-minded, faith-centered CEOs who are committed to doing what it takes in the next 12 weeks to start solving this level problems so you can step into next level problems. So come learn more and grab your spot at redeemhertime.com/focus-info. Or, like I said, click the link in the show notes. Okay, friend, I'll see you over inside the Redeem Her Time community where we'll talk more about this. Thanks for joining me for this episode. Until next time, remember, Instead of chasing time on the clock, trying to control it, receive the gift of time from the one who truly holds it. Because as his daughter, you have time.